Welcome back to the Tango Simplified learning series. I'm Yelizaveta, and today I am going to be responding to a question that I recently got from a beginner tango dancer that was just basically, how do you even start this dance? What do I need to do as a beginner? What are the things I should be focusing on? That question, I'm sure, is a big one for most people who dive into this dance for two main reasons. First, it's very different. So if you're coming into tango from other dance forms expecting that it's going to be a similar experience, you are in for a very unpleasant surprise, because the whole logic of the dance doesn't follow the same rules that you might have experienced in salsa or ballroom or swing. So that makes it tough right away because you're sort of disoriented. Other things that you used to know don't apply anymore. But secondly, tango doesn't necessarily have a very structured curriculum either. So it really depends which teacher you go to, what you're going to get as a beginner. There's a lot of contradiction and a lot of confusion. So this, I hope, is going to be a helpful roadmap for you in terms of you being able to decide for yourself what is important for you at your stage of learning in tango. This lesson in particular, I'm dealing with followers. Next lesson is going to be for leaders, but today we're going to talk about followers in terms of what to do as a beginner to succeed in tango. One of the biggest concerns from beginner followers that I hear is, am I really ready to go to the milonga? At what point am I good enough to be on the dance floor as a dancer at the milonga? And honestly, as a follower, I would say you are ready sooner than you think. As soon as you are comfortable with the idea of being at a milonga and dancing, you should take that step. For me, it was within days of being introduced to tango, I was already at a milonga and I had no idea what I was doing. But as a follower, that's just the perks of the role. It's not the same for the leaders. Now, in terms of actually learning your role, the best thing to do would be to take privates. And not forever, not for a very long time, but to choose a teacher that you trust, that you feel comfortable with, and have them actually walk you through the basics over a period of a few weeks. Once you go through that and you feel it from the teacher, you'll be a lot more confident on the dance floor. Now, for those of you who don't have access to a teacher perhaps, or maybe it's not in your budget, and you start in beginner classes, here I would recommend that you really sample. Because tango is not really standardized, it's not going to serve you to get attached to one teacher for a long time. Try different teachers, different philosophies, different methodologies, and see which classes really resonate with you. In terms of what you're actually learning, I would recommend you don't focus on working on embellishments or perfecting your boleo technique or any sort of performance-oriented work. As a beginner, because you're trying to penetrate the social dance floor, the priorities are to have a very comfortable embrace and to be on balance. So to really understand how to balance, how to have your axis in this dance, which means that part of your time should be spent on understanding the mechanics of the dance and the mechanics of your own body. So seek out classes that will work on solo mechanics or body centering practices that allow you to really study your own alignment. Those kinds of classes and teachers will serve you really well in your development. Now, another question I get is about practice. How often should you practice for this dance? I would say if you can commit to once a week going to a practica or meeting up with a friend for the purpose of practicing, that would be enough and it would be an amazing start. A lot of times when I get this question, it comes from people who actually might tend to overdo it and practice too much. And it's really easy with tango to get kind of obsessed to the point where you're constantly trying to perfect it and it stops being fun. So whether you practice once a week or once a month, you want to do it in a way that keeps it fun and interesting to you without getting too laborious and tedious. Being a follower is a little bit tricky because you will find that you're really dependent on the level of the leaders in your community. So again, I would say you would want to try to work with different people, see how you jive, and don't necessarily just say yes to anyone just because somebody wants to practice. You want to find somebody who really understands how you dance and has a good rapport with you, with whom you can actually talk and communicate and feel comfortable sharing feedback. Lastly, I want to remind you of the big picture. When you're dancing at a milonga, the main things that dancers really care about is comfortable embrace, that your mechanics are working well, where you're balanced and you have your axis. And lastly, of course, they want musicality. Musicality and exploration of the music is really where everyone is heading. This is the reason why dancers dance this music for decades and never get tired of it. So even though as a beginner you might not have enough interest in the music or enough bandwidth to focus on musicality, just know that this is sort of the pathway that you're following as you begin this dance. First, you want to learn how to relate to a partner and have your axis and have a comfortable embrace and figure that out. But ultimately, the destination is going to be the exploration of music. So don't be seduced by a lot of the theatrics that tango has to offer, learning a lot of boleos and embellishments. Those have a place in performance, but as a dancer on the social dance floor, they are not really going to be that important in you advancing and becoming a good dancer that people want to dance with, which is really our goal. So I hope this is helpful. I'm curious if you're watching this and you have some suggestions. If you were to think back on your own journey being a beginner follower, what do you wish you knew back then? Pop that into the comments. Let me know what that is. I hope you join me next week for part 2 of this series, where I'll talk about leaders. What are the most important elements for beginner leaders to keep in mind? When are you ready to go to the milonga? We will talk about that next week. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.